Okay. Here we go. Oh, I didn't know you could record on Canva. Interesting. Okay, there we go. There you go.
Hi, everyone. Like Amanda had said, my name is Maggie. I'm currently in the dietetic internship. This is my rotation, so I'll be in the cooking classes over the next couple of weeks. But today's class is centered around the theme of mindful recipes. And so I'll go talk about what that is exactly. So mindful eating is paying attention to the food and drink that we consume on purpose, moment by moment, and without judgment. This is just like a really brief description of it. It does take practice, and there's kind of a lot more that goes into it. So we are going to have an education session on mindful eating January 27th at 12 or at noon. So go ahead and join if you're available on that day. But just really quickly, what makes this a mindful recipe is you'll see we're using a unique blend of different spices and herbs. And so that allows you to kind of bring in your curiosity when tasting it and kind of taste each herb and spice differently along with the textures. And I'll kind of walk you guys through the different textures as we're making them. And then we also have a nice combo of protein, carbohydrates, and fat, which promotes feeling full and really eating for satiety, which is also something that we'll talk about in our presentation next Thursday. So join us if you guys are around. So let's get cooking. Just a reminder that we will also have a pan class this upcoming Tuesday, January 25th at 6 p.m. So we're gonna post the recipe, I think this afternoon. So be on the lookout for that as well as a shopping list. If you guys are out shopping, you guys can prepare for that recipe.
You want to go? All right, guys, we're gonna get going just cooking. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll try and give you the best view I can of what Maggie's doing as she cooks.
So we already have the sweet potatoes in the oven there. We preheated it to 400 beforehand and just put some olive oil on them, cut them lengthwise like little boats type things, and we have those roasted in the oven. And so next we're going to toss the chickpea with the spices and the oil, so that way we can pop those in the oven and get them roasting.
Perfect. Do you guys like chickpeas? Do you ever eat them?
Yes, definitely. almost weekly, probably.
Wow, Patty, you're getting in your chickpeas. Y'all can feel free to use the chat feature too if you don't want to unmute yourselves.
So then I'm just going to drain off all of the excess, if I can get this out, liquid.
Does anyone know why we're going to rinse the chickpeas? You get bonus points if you know. So we rinse the chickpeas because canned foods, though just as nutritious and good for us as other forms of vegetables like frozen or fresh, they sometimes have a lot of sodium on them. So rinsing them off can rinse off some of that salt or sodium and make them a little bit more heart healthy.
So we've got the chickpeas here. And then we pre-mix the spices that we're gonna put on these chickpeas. I believe that it is, let me look at the recipe. It is cumin, coriander, cinnamon, and paprika that's in this mixture. So we're gonna go ahead and mix the chickpeas with that and a little bit of olive oil.
Try and get a little bit of an above view for this moment. I'll try not to make y'all too nauseous and seasick with my movements.
So we're just gonna put all of these in here.
That looks so good. There's
I would
nothing like,
explain the spices, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just familiar with cumin. I'm not really sure what coriander tastes like.
I think
Mhm.
coriander is from the seeds of cilantro, actually. So if you see cilantro in the summer, if you ever see it when it gets kind of past its growing season and it bulbs up at the end of the summer, those little balls on the end of the cilantro are coriander seeds. And that's how we get that. Pretty wild. Do you guys ever use cinnamon in your savory cooking?
Sometimes in chili.
Ooh,
I've done that before.
I've never done that before. That sounds delicious though. I always forget it's an option for savory foods, honestly, but it always tastes so good when you add it in there for those
I
things.
think spaghetti too. Spaghetti sauce, you could put it in.
Ooh, also a good idea. Maybe we should do a spaghetti squash recipe sometime soon. We haven't done anything like that this year. Okay, so Maggie just took the sweet potatoes out of the oven. Beautiful, roasted little
They
guys.
smell really good. We'll see how. I should use a spatula, not a knife there.
We're gonna avoid any burns or injuries this cooking class. Always our goal.
Yeah, so you can see they're starting.
They're getting a little caramelized and crispy. Exactly what you want when you have a sweet potato, right? Nobody wants a bland sweet potato. Just throw those chickpeas and the potatoes together. They're just little buddies on this little sheet pan.
So at some point, are y'all going to turn the sweet potatoes over? Or you leaving them like that on the
I think we'll just
skin
leave them,
skin side up?
I think we'll leave them like that, so that way it gets caramelized on the bottom and pretty crispy. But you could too if you don't want it to get as crispy. I've done it both ways.
You have options.
Yes.
How long are those gonna go back in for,
I
Maggie?
believe it's 20 minutes. So we'll go ahead and check on them
Perfect.
probably in 15, 20 minutes. Let me double check.
Great. It already smells so good in here, you guys. Like all those spices we just put on the chickpeas.
Yeah, I like roasted chickpeas. They're good.
Agreed, especially when they get that like crispy, crunchy texture.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's about 20 minutes. So we'll check on them at about 12:30. And so next we'll prepare the topping for them, which is like a tomato, parsley, like salad type of thing. Isn't like tabbouleh kind of?
Yeah,
A little
that's
bit similar to
close.
that. So we already have some cherry tomatoes diced here. And so we just cut those into quarters prior to. And then I was gonna do chopping parsley just because I feel like it's a little more difficult, but I could only find pre-chopped parsley, so we will not be doing that today.
Dang supply chain issues.
Yeah. So do so it's just about a 1/4 cup, which I might just like eyeball probably. But yeah, it's a 1/4 cup, but you can always tailor it to your own preferences. Parsley is kind of a little bit more of like a strong flavor, so whatever you prefer. Just avoid the branch there.
I did put a weirdly large branch in that container.
Another one.
Just some extra fiber, right?
Exactly. Yeah, this is pretty simple. It's just, I believe it's just parsley, tomatoes, and then a lemon. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Yeah, so lemon juice, and then we started making this early as we put that in. So it will marinate for about 20 minutes to get that flavor of the lemon juice to kind of contrast the savoriness.
Lemons to match her lemon apron, everybody.
Exactly.
Such coordination.
So we'll just do the juice of a whole lemon.
Those are like pretty Mediterranean flavors if you guys are into those. Yeah.
Sorry, there's some seeds coming out.
Yes, we don't want to break any teeth with our salad.
Some will-
We like retaining our teeth in Wildcats. May be important.
So then I'll just toss that together.
One of the aspects of mindful eating is using all of our senses to notice our foods too. And something great about this meal is there's a lot visually going on, so we can see how bright and colorful those tomatoes are and that parsley is, and using our sense of smell, which I wish I could give you smell-o-vision through your computer. But what Maggie and I can smell is how fresh and citrusy that lemon smells in the salad, and even the sound of it crunching together is another thing we can notice using our senses.
So we'll go ahead and set that aside and let it marinate. And then we do have another sauce that is garlicky to throw even more flavors in there. So we've got our bulb of garlic. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know, but I'll show you guys how to mince some garlic. I honestly did not learn this until I was in college because I feel like my parents always bought the minced garlic, but I just didn't use it enough, so I would just buy bulbs when I needed it. I'm bad at getting the actual.
It's a little bit of a dexterity challenge to get those little papers
Yeah, it
off,
kind of
isn't it?
hurts a little bit. There we go. Okay, I was gonna say. Okay, so it's gonna be 3 cloves of garlic, but you can like tailor it to your own preference. I'll probably do 2 cloves just because we do have, I think the hummus that I got, oh, it's traditional, but hummus is kind of garlicky, so I think I'll do 2 cloves just to make sure it's not too garlicky. So one thing I learned too when I started mincing garlic was that a bigger knife like this is actually better for it because you can kind of go like this. I always feel like I would use like the really little knives and it made it so difficult. And so that's been helpful. And I also just like learning how to like get it is a little bit better. So I usually just like smash it like that, and then you can see it like it'll come off really nicely there. Because I also like dig into it with my fingernails and it hurt.
Maggie's honing her inner Gordon Ramsay to show us her knife skills
I
today.
am, yes.
This is a good way to get aggression out if you just, whatever stress you have in your
It's not
life,
dangerous.
just start smashing some garlic. Ooh, another chance for us to use our sense of smell, because garlic smells delicious always.
Especially roasted garlic, if you guys have ever had it. So I usually start by cutting it lengthwise like this. Not lengthwise, the shorter.
I'll try and get you a zoomed in view as best as I
You're gonna
can.
have all the little.
This is real high class videography if you guys can't tell.
Only the best.
Only the best for these Wellcat members.
And then I kind of just start with chopping it. Some people will chop it the other way as well, but I just kind of go like this.
If you're short on time too and you're trying to look for ways to, speed up meal times. If you just want something healthy and you want it faster, then minced garlic is definitely an option too, like Maggie was saying before. I'm a big proponent of pre-chopped vegetables if you're short on time but wanting to eat healthy.
And you don't really even need the garlic. This is just for a little extra flavor, but
Oh, Maggie, I don't know. I think you need the garlic. Everything needs
it's
garlic.
very important.
My Filipino mother would agree. She puts quite a bit of garlic in all of her
Everything.
food.
So it's just a rough mint, so I think that should be good. And then
Wonderful.
So the sauce for this is pretty simple actually. It's just like more of a hummus base, and then you kind of just add water to thin it to your liking. And so it's gonna have the hummus. You can also use tahini if you have that on hand. They just suggest maybe adding a few different, or a little bit more maybe garlic or dill is also in this, adding more of those flavors because tahini can be a little more bland. So we're gonna have a 1/4 cup of the hummus.
You guys use hummus pretty regularly at home ever? Yeah, we had some very aggressive nods with that.
I don't think I can go like a day without hummus.
I like the hummus enthusiasm we have going, you guys. This is good stuff.
I follow like a hummus fan page on my social. I really like hummus.
I have to say, I haven't quite acquired the taste for hummus yet. I've
That's,
tried it a couple of times, but I'm not real crazy about it, I guess.
you know what?
I need to try the chickpeas, I guess, to see if that,
Yeah.
if I start with that with some type of flavoring and see if I like that.
Yeah, totally.
So we have the hummus in the bowl here, and then we're just gonna add in this chopped garlic.
Mm.
And then it's also the juice of half of a lemon. I'm just gonna kind of squeeze out what's left of this half lemon here. There's some seeds in there. Okay. And then we have a 3/4 to 1 teaspoon of dill in there as well, if you like the flavor. If not, it's totally optional. So I'm just gonna eyeball it there. So I'm gonna mix that up, and then after this, we're just gonna add a little bit of water because it's gonna be really thick. And if you guys saw the recipe there, we want it to be more of a drizzle versus like a blob.
Bringing it back to mindful eating, this sauce is another chance to use some of our senses, right? So we have that salad that's going to be maybe a little bit crispy and a little bit fresh. It's going to have like a really distinct texture. And then we'll have this sauce, which will kind of bring in some creaminess to our dish, kind of add some variety to it.
So I'm just gonna start like adding in a little bit from the faucet over here, and then check the texture to see what it's like. It's a lot.
She's following you.
Maggie's learning what it would be like to have paparazzi today.
Yes, yes.
Got to be much easier, Amanda, than doing it all by yourself, though.
This is very true.
Yeah, it'd be hard to do all by yourself.
Angie, what department are you joining us from?
I work in the budget office and treasurer's office.
Very cool. What building is that in?
JCK.
Very nice. I've never been inside of JCK.
Oh, wow.
That's my, wow, I can't think of the word.
Fun fact?
Maybe like a not so fun fact, just like a reality, I guess.
So this is the texture that we have, and I feel like I might make it a little bit more thin just because I feel like it'd still be hard to drizzle it. But like I said, this part's up to you. in your personal preferences.
Yeah, if you like it really thick, then just glob that on there. If you like it really thin to drizzle, you have choices.
We'll do this just for the looks of it because it will probably look more appealing if it's a drizzle, but it'll all taste the same.
And if you just like plop,
Put
you put a
blob
huge
on it.
dollop on there.
So yeah, I think that that's a pretty good texture there. Kind of like a thicker, like Caesar dressing consistency, I would say.
It looks really good. Nice.
So what would you name the sauce?
I think it's called garlic herb sauce,
Yeah.
like a hummus dressing type of deal. But it is gonna be very like garlicky. So, all right, we'll check on the sweet
Or whatever you want to
potatoes.
name it. You could
Yes.
name it Kevin if you wanted.
Yeah, I just wondered if there was like an already made type of sauce that
You could
was similar.
probably just use the hummus if you wanted, or I mean, I'm sure you could use like a dressing, like a Caesar dressing in place of it. Take out the.
Or some of the hummuses have different flavors to them too. So
That's true. Because I agree, I'm not the world's biggest hummus fan, but the garlic one where they put like 16 cloves of garlic in it, then I'm like, yes, this is pretty good.
Do you like the sauce today? So I think that the sweet potatoes will be ready. They were in there for about, I would say, 40-ish minutes. And you could do like 30, I think would be fine as well. But these, I just really like the caramelized.
Mhm.
It makes it really sweet. So I kind of like that contrast.
Using our mindful eating, they're like nice and burnt orange. They look so beautiful and fresh. I feel like my computer camera is not doing them justice, honestly. But I'm sure y'all have seen really beautifully caramelized sweet potatoes before and can use your imagination a little.
So we're gonna put these back in for probably about 5 to 10 more minutes. If you guys have air fryers too, I don't know if that's something a lot of people have, but I made roasted chickpeas in there, and those are really good. I feel like that only takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a time-saving hack, and also I think they're sometimes better. So.
Perfect.
So yeah, I think that we have everything all prepared. We also have some feta that you can top it with if you like cheese. But yeah, you can really just make this your own, and we'll put them together in a little bit. Since they're all done roasting, but yeah, we have our toppings over here.
Get that set up. Are y'all having a good start to the week? Whoa, end to the week. It is not the start of the week. My bad.
and it's almost the end of January. I mean, really,
It's going fast.
it is.
Do you guys have any questions about the recipe or about anything in the recipe that we could answer for you while we wait for those chickpeas?
I'm looking forward to trying it. Sounds good.
Yeah. Are you guys planning on making it at home?
I got the recipe and I have 2 sweet potatoes waiting.
Oh my gosh,
Yay.
that's awesome. You should send us
This
pictures if you
weekend.
do. We would love to see your version of it.
Oh, okay, take a picture.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
that'd be
great.
fun.
Okay.
You might end up a social media star on our Wildcats Instagram, which this is a great moment to plug. If you don't follow us on Instagram, we have a Wildcats Instagram, and we
Okay.
post reminders about upcoming classes and events, and a lot of other good health content that maybe we don't post on some of our other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love sweet potatoes and I love hummus. And so it looked like a good recipe.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is the
definitely.
recipe for you then.
It's kind of, I like those two things too, so I'm always looking to like switch it up with new ways to incorporate them. But yeah, next week we also have a recipe that's gonna include sweet potatoes. So
Okay.
that's around dinner time. If you guys want to cook along with us, it can be fun.
That would be very cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Will you all be
Yeah.
trying to join us for our in-person classes in a few weeks?
I will.
Yes.
Great. We're
Yes.
so excited to see you guys back here again.
I've never been in the Family and Consumer Science building.
This is
You
your
hadn't been in
first
JCK
time.
and I hadn't been over there.
We'll have to switch. You come here for cooking classes and then I'll go visit JCK.
Yeah, I'm interested. I love sweet potatoes just by themselves. I don't even need to have anything on it.
Yeah.
But so I'm interested to hear the different flavors that are going on top of them.
Yes.
It's just very interesting to me.
We'll have to do our Rachel Ray style taste test for you guys so we can tell you what it tastes like.
And what's considered a serving? One of the halves or two of the halves?
I don't remember if it's said. I think it's 2 halves. Yeah.
Two halves?
Yeah, probably depends on your personal preference and,
Yeah.
you know, like what you've eaten in the day before, and a good chance to use mindful eating to think about how full you are or how hungry you are for sure.
Mhm.
So,
And are y'all going to put the recipe like y'all normally had it from the past so we can print it out?
I can definitely make sure that happens.
Okay, great.
We have another intern from the undergraduate side of things. Her name is Taylor, and she'll be joining us in our pan cooking class efforts soon. So I'll definitely be having her send you guys the recipes and everything after. Which, speaking of, could you guys possibly put your net IDs in the chat for me so I can take attendance real quick? That'd be super helpful. Perfect. They're never what I expect them to be. I'm always like, her name is Patty, so it should be just a P and a number, but no.
Well, mine's really off.
Yeah,
I think the
exactly.
newest employees, they're doing random everything,
Oh my gosh, really?
Oh,
what I've been
Wow.
told.
That's kind of stressful. Does that make it hard to like remember your own? I guess it's not that long, but that makes
Well,
it feel stressful.
mine are my initials, my maiden name initials from when I was a student worker.
Oh
Oh,
my
wow.
goodness.
So that was like, I'm not going to tell you how many years ago that was. Sorry.
That's funny. I get that. My email at my last university was my maiden name, but they only did the first 4 letters. So mine was always DUVA because my maiden name was Duval, and it always wanted to autocorrect to Diva. And so it would be like Diva at blah, 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 blah. And people probably thought that was silly.
Give them just a few more minutes here. Just make sure they're super crispy. I've had like some success with roasted chickpeas, but sometimes I feel like they just don't get super crispy. So
Okay.
hopefully following the recipe, it'll work. But the air fryer, like I said, can't plug that one enough.
Yeah. I sometimes I have a top and a bottom oven, and I sometimes put it on broil, like
Oh.
even a low broil,
Okay.
Yeah.
if it's in the top oven, and it helps to crisp up because I don't have an air fryer. So
The broiler can do magical things as well. So working with what you got, that's for sure. Lynn, you changed your background and it looks so beautiful. Oh, I think you're on mute.
I need something that'll help me get warmer.
Exactly. Ah, okay. And check on our potatoes with an oven mitt so we don't, burn ourselves. Wow, chickpeas.
Good.
Yeah, those look great. There, I'll give you guys kind of an up close sneak peek. They look super well spiced and very crispy.
Yes.
Yum.
And always halfway through, I did when I took the potatoes out, kind of like mix them around just to make sure that they're getting different sides. So yeah. So now we should be able to kind of put everything together.
Oh, it's the
So
magical
have a
moment. Okay, so we have a plate.
Yes, we have a plate, and then we need get something new.
She's coming.
A scoop. And then do we have a fork as well? I'm
I
new to the
definitely can
kitchen,
take your
so-
fork.
Here's the fork. I used it.
Okay, I'll bring you back to Maggie.
So we're gonna take one of the sweet potatoes or two, whatever you're feeling. And it sometimes helps if you wanna like smash it down a little bit. We'll just go and do two.
They're kind of little mini sweet potatoes
Yes,
today,
they're
these
little
ones.
smaller ones. And so I'm gonna put the chickpeas on first, just more for like the base. But when we talked about the hunger crushing combo too, this is like a good example to kind of talk through. We have like a very good complex carbohydrate. If you guys know what that means, it just means that you'll digest it slower and kind of keep your energy levels steady throughout the day. And so then the chickpeas are going to be your main source of protein with the hummus, along with it's going to have oils for fat, and those three together really is a good combo to make sure that you're going to stay full for longer and keep you energized throughout the day.
Yeah, chickpeas are like a very surprisingly good source of protein too. A cup of chickpeas, I want to say, has, don't quote me on this, you guys, but I'm pretty sure it has 18 grams of protein, which is pretty comparable to like most servings of meat, which is pretty wild.
Yes. So go ahead and put however much you want on. Let's put that on for now because we have the other toppings. And I'm going to put on this next.
If you have little kids at home or maybe some little grandkids that come over every once in a while, this is a really good example of a game I like to play when I'm teaching kids about food, is to just try and get as many colors on the plate as you can.
Mhm.
They like pointing out which ones are part of the rainbow. So we've got orange and red and green. So
Kind of doing well. And
we're
tan.
doing good. And tan, yeah.
So then we'll do some feta cheese if you want that. There's some pretty big,
There's some very
big
large
pieces in there.
chunks.
So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and kind of sprinkle it on top just for a little bit of flavor, a little bit extra. And then drizzle this on. Try to do it in a the best looking way, I suppose.
Ah,
Maybe not.
that looks so good. It looks like the picture from the recipe, Maggie.
There we go. So yeah, you guys can go ahead and put however much on. If you're not sure about the dressing, I would taste it first and just make sure before you put too much on that you like it. So
Ah, looks so good.
there we go.
There we go. Maggie, do you want to give us a taste test real quick once you wash your hands?
Sure, I would love
For all your hard cooking work. Maggie's gonna have her Rachel Ray moment, as we were just saying. So
Just try to get as much of the different components as possible. Let's go ahead and see. It's very good.
it was a big bite.
It was a big bite. I feel like I can definitely taste the lemon in it pretty well, along with the garlic. Those are like the two flavors that stand out. Yeah, it's very good, very crunchy. I like it.
Great. Well, thank you guys for joining us for class today. Do you guys have any questions or anything before we let you go?
No, so the next one, y'all are gonna do a different recipe when y'all do the two different ones. Okay, great.
And we'll
Cool.
post, I think we're gonna try to make a post tonight about that. So that way, if you're grocery shopping over the weekend, it's at 6 o'clock at night, like I said. So you can go and pick up dinner stuff if you want.
Yeah, great. It's a maple tofu bowl, like a Nourish bowl, which Patty's making that face because I know I've heard her say that she loves bowls.
And this one's for you.
Yes. No, it was that got me was I think it was a hearty beet burrito bowl that someone made. I can't remember who it was, Jasmine or Colton, someone way back when.
Nice. Well, we hope to see you guys then, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.